There's something else. Plus, Lou Whitaker in '84 during batting practice hit a ball. You scan out here to Brooks Lumber. Now, for a little guy like that to do that in batting practice, and for me to see the ball land on Trumbulll was just incredible.
Currently have been the president of Brooks Lumber Company, which is directly across the street from the Tiger Stadium site. Long history there. And besides the stadium itself, in Brooks Lumber, I was born and raised. This is on the east side of the stadium, and I was born and raised for the first 21 years of my life across the street on the west side of the stadium. So the stadium and I go a long way. That's what I knew as a kid. I eat, breathe, drank, baseball, every statistic. It's basically when I came out of the womb, I was delivered on Tiger Stadium's field, you could say. Went to basically every game that I could growing up. Quite attached to the team back then. It was a religion. Back then as a kid, just walking up into the stadium without any security breach problems or checks. We'd go out there, my pals and I, or by myself, and watch the Tigers actually play during the day if they had a night game. And they would actually practice during the day. Not as a team, but you get the pitchers in there. I never seen so much electricity in that stadium, ever, than when the bird started, Mark the Bird, Fidyrch, emerged. It was just an unbelievable electricity that I haven't seen duplicated in any sporting venue to this day. I don't care if they're going to go in the planet races. Nothing can capture that era of electricity when the bird was. It was just, you had to be there to experience. The bird was the word then. '84 was magic too. You know, we talk by years, but you have to live through it to experience it, and as which I was fortunate enough to do. Young as I won was when they had the All-Star game here. I believe it was 71 or 70. I idolized back then, you could say, Norman Cash, who I really didn't meet, all right, at the games. And the other one was Cincinnati, their catcher, Johnny Bench. He came in. And a couple of Tigers said, "Hey, kid." And Mr. Bench, I didn't know was there at the time. Somebody was probably Steve Gargiol or somebody interviewing him at the time. And they called me over, and there he is. I remember he was in a plaid jacket, and he's looking at me. He says, "Hey, talk to this kid." Basically threw me out. I was just tongue twisted. I couldn't say a word out of my mouth. I was just dumbfounded. Here's a living God. So he goes, "Hey, I hear you're a fan of mine." "Yes, sir. I'm gonna hit one out for you." Grabs my head like that. Off he goes, interviews. Well, I went to the game. After the game, only 8 years old at the time, maybe 9, and through it all, and it just tells you the caliber of a human being. There's Mr. Bench. Sees thousands of people, but somehow he remembered me. "Hey kid, I got something for you." And summoned some guy, and he gave me a crack bat. Now, whether or not it was the one he hit with the home, I believe it homer that day, if I remember, at the All-Star game in that Florida game. That was just like, couldn't get any better. Right. You talk about memorable things in your life, that hits the spot.
In 1934, my cousin caught Babe Ruth's 700 home run ball rolling down the street.
Really?
And it's in a book here.
Seen a whole bunch of home runs go over the roof, which is pretty nice. I've Kilbert, Norm Cash, Jason Thompson, Cecil Fielder. I've seen all of them go over the roof.
A number of home runs were hit over the ballpark and landed right here on our roof. We have an area called the South Alley, what we refer to as the home run alley, because balls would find their way there through practice, through the games themselves. I have collected through the years a number of home run balls that had landed over from Cecil Cooper. There was another kid from the Tigers, Brown. Gibson, one of the two that were hit over here, that have a story in itself. A number of balls that were hit over predominantly during that, the era with Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa. That particular year, balls were being launched over here more than any other time. Now, and I did my own little research because I collected them, and I dropped the ball from one year to the next, and that year seemed to bounce a little bit more. And I didn't take one apart, but I noticed the hide was a little bit different, a little bit different texture, and something about it is just, were they juiced? I can't tell you, but just to give you an idea, these are just a few of the balls that were knocked over. So many, in fact, I collected through the years. Each one probably has a story in its own.
Wow.
That during the game or during batting practice. Okay, and the closest encounter I had with one was being in the South Alley, just minding my own business during a practice section. And I would say that because they didn't now allow the public to come in during a certain time.
Right.
And I remember it was on a Friday afternoon, probably about 4:45 in the afternoon. I'm just minding my own business, and I thought it was a seagull coming off the floor. I don't know what happened, but just my reaction was to just go like this, and on one bounce, one caught me. Right?
No.
One bounce. Now, whoever, I don't know. But
This is while you're here in the yard.
yeah, while I'm here in the yard. During a practice session, not during a game.
Okay.
Now, I think this was a game ball. It's significant something, and shame on me I didn't write on it. You know, the only one I know of that I did have that was hit during a game that I can account for who hit it was the Kirk Gibson ball in '83.
1 out, bases empty. The 2-1 pitch to Gibson. There's a belt to left. That's gone. Let's watch it. Where is it? Is it out of the park? Yes. It's out of Tiger Stadium. Kirk Gibson has done it. He got it over the roof in right field, over the third deck, out of this ballpark. Let's listen to the crowd.
Because we're situated in right field then.
That's right,
So
right field.
it's really over the roof.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was sacred ground as far as I'm concerned. And to this day, out of respect for the field and also our country, you know, they bulldozed a few years ago the stadium. You could take the stadium away. The field's still there. There's a flagpole that remains. And so many people pay their respects for all those games that we couldn't leave it empty. Upon a few of us, the flag still is up there, a commemorative flag, and we take it upon ourselves here at night to see that it's lit. We'll run out.
So this is where it would come. Was it open in the sense or?
Just like this, just like this, just like this, just like you see it. Things haven't changed.
Wow.
Now, many times the ball would hit the roof here, bounce, and then find its way. It hit the gutter, land on this side of the gutter, or on the other side. Most of the time it rolled this way for whatever reason. It bounced and find its way in, you know, just over here. But many times the balls would just, for whatever reason, right in this alley, would come over and just bounce over here. Okay. Sacred ground, as I said, so, you know, to run the bases and be on the field of the greats, you know, and that opportunity, and we don't have to fly over to Lakeland, Florida to do that,
Exactly.
you know.